right, race fans, boogity, 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 let's go racing, as it is going to be Heat 1 for your POWRi Midwest Modifieds. On the pole, Heat number 1, going to be the 21K of Sam Keller, into his outside, the 41 of Alex Schultz. Row number 2 is going to be the 25 of Eli Muhlenberg, and the 79A of the Opportunist Trent Wynn. Row 3, you got the 25T of Austin Treadway and the 15W of Corey Wilson. And your fourth and final row going to be the 83R of Ryan Smythe and the 32R of Ridge Dennison. All right, ladies and gentlemen, lights are down. We're going to be green flag out of turn 4. Going to fill the work on into 3. Out of 4, green cone, green flag is in the air. And we're going to motor off down to the 1 and 2. Alex Schultz going to jump out to that race lead, but look out, here comes Trent Wynn, Eli Muhlenberg, Sam Keller going to be there, Corey Wilson, as they're all going to be bumper to bumper, door to door, coming out of turn 1 or turn 4. Lap 1 goes to the 41 of Alex Schultz. Our top 5 in passing points are going to join the 5D of last week's feature winner, Dustin Dennison, for a 6-lap pole dash here a little bit later tonight. So every lap counts for these drivers. If you're in the worst, you want to get the first. As Alex Schultz can still have that race lead out front, 2 laps down, 6 to go. Trent Wynn going to be right down there on the bottom side. Trying to get around the 41 there of Alex Schultz. As Schultz going to hold on. Oh, look out, we got trouble in turn 4. The 32 of Rich Dennison loops it around in turn 4. Austin Treadway had to stomp on the brakes to avoid T-boning Rich Dennison there as the first caution of the night comes out. Green flag going to be in the air as Alex Schultz going to lead him on down the front stretch and into turn 1. 3 laps now, 5 to go. Oh, Schultz goes up the hill. Trent Wynn got to capitalize. As Trent Wynn going to be down the bottom side there. Schultz going to gather it back up and regain the lead as he slides up the hill again. Drag race to the line. Trent Wynn going to be out front in the 79A. Trent Wynn, we call him the opportunist. As you just seen, he's patient, he waits. And when the driver in front of him messes up, he takes the opportunity. Out at turn 4, the 79A going to be out front. Alex Schultz, Eli Muhlenberg, your top 3. Corey Wilson, Sam Keller going to round out your top 5. Ryan Smythe, Rich Dennison, and Austin Treadway round out the field. As they're going to go down the back stretch into 3. Coming into turn 4, it's still Trent Wynn. And Trent Wynn going to start to pull away from the rest of the field as he's going to have a half a straightaway lead over the 41 Alex Schultz. White flag, one more trip around for the 79A and Trent Wynn. As they're going to go down the back stretch here for the final time in Heat 1 for your POWRi Midwest Modified 3rd Annual Bill Ragland Ragland Memorial, checkered flag to Trent Wynn. Alex Schultz second, and Eli Muhlenberg going to take home that top 3 here for Heat 1. And that's going to wrap up heat number 1. Up next, going to be heat number 2 on the pole. Going to be the 5D of Dustin Dennison into his outside, the 15R of Oakley Ragland. Row number 2 going to be the 33 of Steve Muhlenberg and the 27 of Terry Williams. Row 3 is going to be the 27T of Dustin Mathis and the 122 of Michael Maggard. Row 4 going to be the 35E of Luke Aiken and the 75 of Colby Lathrop. Green flag out of turn 4. Here we go. Oakley, Ragland, Steve Muhlenberg going to be door to door down to 1 and 2. Ragland going to have the edge as they come out of 2 down the backstretch. Luke Aiken going to slide up into that number 3 spot. Terry Williams sits fourth with Michael Maggard to his outside. Maggard going to try to pick up the daily double as lap 1 going to go to Muhlenberg, then Ragland. Aiken and Maggard going to be right there up into 4th. Maggard up on the top shelf. Going to try to run down that 35E machine. Muhlenberg going to hold on to that number 1 spot as they come out of turn 4. The man on the move is Michael Maggard as he's going to be up to 3rd. Oh, Dustin Mathis off the power coming into the infield off the back stretch as he's going to park it right down here in the mighty Midway infield. Ragland slides up the hill, 3 wide down the front stretch. Michael Maggard wheeling and dealing as he's going to work up there to that number 2 spot. Now he's got to run down to 33 as Steve Muhlenberg leads the charge, catfishing down on the bottom side. Laps ticking down here. It's Muhlenberg, Maggard, Aiken, your top 3. Ragland, Williams, and Lathrop round out the field. As Dustin Mathis had trouble earlier in the heat race, had to pull off. And everybody down on the bottom side through 3 and 4. As we're going to be almost single file, kindergarten style. Oakley Ragland still running that midline. They're battling out with Terry Williams for 4th and 5th. Steve Muhlenberg leads the charge, but Maggard closing the gap. Maggard to the back bumper now. As we're going to go down the back stretch into 3. Maggard going to go up to the top side. They're going to come out of turn 4. You're going to see the white flag. One more trip around. As Maggard going to stay up on the top side of the speedway. Down the back stretch, the field's going to go for the final time here in heat number 2. Into 3, it's going to be checkers or wreckers, make it or break it time. Out at turn 4, checkered flag for the 33 is Steve Muhlenberg. Michael Maggard 2nd and Luke Aiken 3rd. Heat number 3, ladies and gentlemen, the 14 of John Newell on the pole. The 28C is Shane Creech right there to his outside. Row number 2, going to be the 64 of Pete Richardson into his outside. The 23 of Mark Big Daddy Simon. Row number 3 going to be 65 junior Carter Jackson. The 10 of James Heinrich. And row number 4 going to be the 68 of Donnie Betts and the 8K of Tyler Knudston. Out of turn 4, green flag is in the air. Richardson, Simon already on a good jump. As Richardson's already going to shoot up to that number 1 spot. Here comes Mark Simon. Simon going to follow him into second. And out of turn 4, it's Richardson, Simon, Newell, Creech, Jackson. That's your top 5, followed by Knudsen, Betts, and Heinrich. Oh, look out. Heinrich loops it around over there in 1 and 2. As he's going to be facing the wrong direction. Yellow is out. Yellow, yellow, yellow. Out of turn 4, green flag is in the air as we're going to get back to business. Down to 1 and 2, Richardson, Simon goes down in there door to door. Richardson going to have the edge down the backstretch. Tyler Knudsen up to that number 5 spot. As it is a cluster here in the mid-pack. Out of turn 4, Richardson, Simon. Tyler Knudsen up to 3rd in front of John Newell, sits in 4th. Here comes Carter Jackson in the 65. Donnie Betts 4 wide down the back stretch into 3. Holy moly, we got a race. A little bit of contact between Betts and Creech as we are. Shane Creech off the power at the top of turn 4. Yellow, yellow. We go immediately to the yellow for the 28C of Shane Creech. Oh, so it looks like we're calling in the hook. Calling in the tow truck there for the 28C of Shane Creech as he has broke. I almost bet it happened when they went 4 wide down the backstretch and into 3. There was a little bit of contact between Betts and Creech, and I bet you something on that front end broke. Down the back stretch and into 3. Delaware double file restart. Pete Richardson leads them. Simon Knudsen. Row 2. Green flag is in the air as Tyler Knudsen going to be trying to look up front. Pete Richardson, Mark Simon's got their work cut out for him. Simon down to the bottom side. Richardson holds on to the lead. As they're going to go down the back stretch, Simon going to go to the top shelf. Knudsen going to cross him over. Simon slides up the hill as Pete Richardson starting to walk away. Tyler Knudsen right down there, going to be door-to-door silhouetting it with Mark Simon on the bottom. As Knudsen going to move into that number 2 spot. Pete Richardson going to try to be gone like yesterday. As they're going to work through 3 and 4. After Simon, it's Carter, 4th, Betts, 5th. Newell and Heinrich rounds out the field. As they're going to go down the back stretch and into 3. Single file. Everybody down on the bottom side. You're going to see 2 to go this time by for the 64 of Pete Richardson. As they're going to come down the back stretch and into 3. Pete Richardson, a very, very good lead out front. As you got the white flag, one more trip around. Simon now up to the quarter panel of Knudsen. Oh, he slides it in there hard. A little bit of left side, 11 and right side romance. As they're going to go down the back stretch for the final time. Down at turn number 4, checkered flag waves for the 64, Pete Richardson. Mark Simon, 2nd, and Tyler Knudsen, 3rd. Here we go, our 4th and final Midwest Modified Heat Race. On the pole, going to be the 57D of Dalton Roberts and his outside, the 7C of Derek Cook. Row 2, the 18E of Carter Harrison and the 44R of Randall Cushing. Row 3, going to be the 16A of Shannon Geller and the 83 of Ben Newell. And row number 4, the 24 of Lonnie Seitz and the 21H of Jordan Holloway. Nope, 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 nope. Back it down, gentlemen. Back it down. We're going to try this again. That front row did not fire. So we're going to try it again. Dalton Roberts. Derek Cook on that front row. Derek Cook going back to the old, what do you call it? The old wrap on his car that he ran last year. Love the look of that green car, that green and black and the gold. Out of turn 4, green flag is going to be in the air. Ben Newell already up to 4th before we get into turn 1. As they're going to go down the back stretch, Dalton Roberts going to lead them. Into 3, coming out of turn 4, lap 1 goes to Dalton Roberts. Derek Cook, Carter Harrison, Ben Newell, and Shannon Geller rounding out that top 5. Look at this. Here comes Shannon Geller down to the bottom side. 3 deep. Time to sell it cheap down the backstretch. Out of turn 4 is still Roberts, Harrison, Ben Newell up to 3rd. Oh, Newell slides up the hill. Geller down on the bottom side. You got a new number 3 going into 3. Here comes Jordan Holloway in the 21 as he's up to 5th. Ben Newell going to slice and dice, going to change it up, try to come out of the turn a little harder as Newell's got to run down the back stretch. Oh, Derek Cook off the power. Yellow is out. Yellow is out for the 7C of Derek Cook as he has come to an immediate stop over there in the middle of turn 2. Out of turn 4, green flag going to be back in the air as we got Derek Cook off to the pits. Had some rear end trouble. Dalton Roberts out front going to lead them. Here comes, woo, buddy, Ben Newell. Ben Newell getting a little bumping and banging down in there. Dalton Roberts holds on. He's got Carter Harrison on the back bumper. Ben Newell up to third. Shannon Geller sits. Oh, a lot of bumping and banging up front here. Ben Newell down to the bottom side. You got a race up front. Look at your top 5. And I turn 4. Roberts, Carter Harrison, Ben Newell, Jordan Holloway up to that number 4 spot. Oh, Harrison goes around. Trouble in 1 and 2. Yellow, yellow, yellow as the 18E of Carter Harrison loops it around, and Newell and Holloway had nowhere to go. All right, so Carter Harrison kind of looped it around. Ben Newell, Jordan Holloway had nowhere to go, got collected over there as we got 5 down, 3 to go here in our 4th and final heat race for your Midwest Modifieds. Going to have a Midwest Modified pole dash a little bit later tonight after the Hornet heat races. So we're going to get these cars stacked back up in the correct starting positions. It's going to be Dalton Roberts up front, Shannon Geller, Lonnie Seitz, Randall Cushing, Ben Newell, your top 5. And then it'll be Jordan Holloway and Carter Harrison. All right, here we go. Delaware double file restart. Leader out front by himself. Shannon Geller sits second, so he gets to choose whether he wants the top or bottom, and he's going to pick the bottom side. Lonnie Seitz going to go to the top side. Randall Cushing down. Ben Newell to the top. That's your top 5. So we started with 8. We're down to 7. Into 3. Out at turn number 4. Green flag is in the air. Ben Newell down the back stretch into 3. It's going to be Lonnie Sight, Shannon Geller door-to-door for second and third. Dalton Roberts still out front. Here comes Ben Newell down on the bottom side. Going to make it 3 wide down the front stretch. Into 1 and 2. It's a 3 wide battle for second. Now it's going to be 2 cars battling out as they go down into 3. Oh no, Sights gets into Geller. White flag. Yellow or white flag is in the air. Yellow. All right, so the caution comes out after the white. Going to give the 57D of Dalton Roberts the win. Ben Newell second. And the 18E of Carter Harrison going to be your top 3. Up next, ladies and gentlemen. Whoa, Shannon does not look happy. All right, so Shannon Geller is not happy. We are getting ready for Heat 1, POWRi Pure Stocks, a little pure pandemonium. On the pole of Heat 1, going to be the 32 of Richard Adams, and to his outside, the 14 of Derek Davis. Row 2, going to be the 42 of Trevor Ellingson, and the 05G of Grayson McKinney. Row 3, all by his lonesome, the 21 of Peyton McDowell. Lights are down as we're going to fill the work on into turn 3. 5 cars here for Heat 1 into 3. Green cone. No start, no start, no start. All right, we're going to try it again. Into 3, Adams Davis on the front row. Green flag is in the air. Richard Adams going to lead the field down into 1 and 2. Adams going to start to pull away as they're going to be 3 wide down here down the back stretch. Oh, everybody going to be bunched up together, bumper to bumper, door to door through 3 and 4. As it is going to be 3 wide down the front stretch. Adams, Ellingson. Whoa, a little bit of contact between Adams and Davis. A little bit of contact between McDowell and McKinney as Trevor Ellingson going to slide into the lead down the back stretch. Coming out of turn number 4, you got a new race leader, the 42 of Trevor Ellingson. Richard Adams holds on to second. Here comes the 21 of Peyton McDowell. A little bit of wagon power. As we're going to go down the back stretch. Derek Davis now up to second. Richard Adams got to get up off the middle and down to the bottom because that's where it's fast right now. As Peyton McDowell going to slide into third. Down the back stretch, we're going to go Peyton McDowell to the bottom side of Derek Davis. As Davis going to run up a little bit higher than last lap, trying to find some momentum. As it's going to hold on as he holds on by a bumper. Now we're going to go down through 1 and 2. It's still Trevor Ellingson. Oh, Richard Adams comes up, chops the nose off of Derek Davis. It's Ellingson, McDowell, Adams, your top 3. Richard Adams going to try to take that green car to the front. As Derek Davis gives him a little shot to the shorts down to 1 and 2. McKinney down to the bottom side of Derek Davis. But out front, it is all the 42 of Trevor Ellingson. White flag, 1 to go. Down the back stretch into 3 for the final time. The field's going to go. Out of turn 4, checkered flag waves for the 42 of Trevor Ellingson. Peyton McDowell, Richard Adams, your top 3. Here we go, Heat 2 for your pure stocks on the poles, the 19 of Trenton Houston. And to his outside, the 68 of Rhonda Lampkey. Row 2 going to be the 28W of Michael Willoughby and the 23R of Jeff Reed. And row number 3, your current points leader, the 0 of James Reedus. Green flag going to be in the air as they're going to hustle on down to the 1 and 2. Trenton Houston going to shoot off like a rocket. Willoughby going to slide it in there hard. Here comes Jeff Reed to the bottom side of Michael Willoughby. James Reed is going to slingshot around Rhonda Lampkey as they're going to work down to 3 and 4. Willoughby slides up the hill as it is Houston, Reed, Willoughby, your top 3. But there is the 0 of James Reed as he's your current points leader for a reason. As they're going to go down the back stretch. Reed is now up to 3rd. Jeff Reed right there all over the back bumper of Trenton Houston. Oh, Reed give him a little love tap down there as Reed now up to the door panel. Into 3 and 4. You got a new race leader, the 23R of Jeff Reed. Houston shuffles back to 2nd. James Reed still holds on to 3rd. Michael Willoughby, Rhonda Lampkey rounds out the field. As we got laps ticking down, Houston kind of running that mid to high line while Reedus and your race leader Reed is on the bottom. Not used to seeing James Reedus down on the bottom side. Usually he likes going to the top side here, but he's making it work tonight as Houston's going to be the one going up top. Jeff Reed catfishing on the bottom. He's going to be your race leader. Oh, look how Michael Willoughby is facing the wall in 1 and 2 as he loops it around. Yellow is out. Yellow, yellow, yellow for the 28W of Michael Willoughby. All right, we're going to try this again. No start, no start, no start. James Reed has got a little antsy there, trying to get as many passing points as possible as he started at the worst. And he's trying to get up there to 1st, but he's on the outside of Trenton Houston in row number 2. Your leader, Jeff Reed, down into 3. Here we go. Green flag is in the air. James Reed is on the top shelf. Trenton Houston down to the bottom side. Jeff Reed going to be down on the bottom side as he's your race leader. Out of turn 4. It's still Reed up front, but Reed is right there behind him on the back bumper. Reedus might have found a little bit better line than Jeff Reed as he's coming up to the outside door. Down into 3, they're going to be door-to-door silhouetting it. Out of turn 4, drag race to the white flag. Still Jeff Reed. Down the backstretch, we're going to go for the final time for your pure stock heat races. Out of turn 4, checkered flag waves for the 23R Jeff Reed. James Reed is 2nd, and Trenton Houston takes home 3rd.
Race fans, the MRP All Access plan on the MyRacePass app now includes live announcer audio on race nights.
Son of a gun, here we go, gonna have a great time!
Make your fantasy racing picks, watch live timing, and listen into the action live on the MyRacePass app.
Can you believe it?
Doctor!
Ask your local track to get their announcer on the new MRP audio feature for the MyRacePass app today.
Off a turn 4, you've got a new leader!
To learn more, visit getmrpapp.com. MyRacePass, the ultimate racing resource.
Here we go, Heat 1 for your POWRi B mods. On the pole is going to be the 51 of Michael Stake, and his outside the 90 of Josh Ferris. Row 2 going to be the 2 of Eric Graves. And the 20D of Dawson David. Row number 3 going to be the 24 of Joshua Reddy, and the 86 of Jeff Albright. All right, we're going to try this again. Out of turn 4, green flag is going to be in the air. Josh, oh, look out. David gets into the back of Ferris as Ferris threw it in there a little too hard. As that is the yellow flag, yellow, yellow, yellow. All right, we're going to try it again after that little altercation down there in 1 and 2. Josh Ferris drove her in just a little too hard, and then Dawson David kind of helped him out a little bit. Down into 3. Nope, flagman's waving off the start. Green flag is out as Eric Graves is on a slow roll around the top of the speedway. Down into 3, your field goes out of turn 4. It's Michael Stake up front, Joshua Reddy, Jeff Albright, Dawson David. Yellow is out, yellow, yellow, yellow for the 2 of Eric Graves, who's at a slow roll over there on the backstretch. Okay, so Eric Graves back to his respected pit after he broke. 0 laps completed. So we're going to try this again. Down into 3. Coming out of turn 4. Green flag is in the air. Joshua Reddy with a great start as he's going to jump up to that top shelf. 4 wide almost out of turn 2. Joshua Reddy, Jeff Albright up front there as they're going to go down into turn 3. Out of turn 4, it is the 24 of Joshua Reddy, Jeff Albright, Michael Stake, Dawson David, your top 4, your only 4. As the field works on down the backstretch, Jeff Albright now coming up to the bottom side of Joshua Reddy. Joshua Reddy better be ready as he's going to have some company here shortly. Out of turn 4, it is Jeff Albright to the race lead. Joshua Reddy slides back to second. Dawson David up into the number 3 spot. And Michael State going to be there in 4th. Now Reddy going to go down to the bottom. Oh, look out. Joshua Reddy loops it around in turn 3 and 4. Yellow is out. Yellow, yellow, yellow. Out of turn 4, green flag is back in the air as we have 3 cars remaining here for Heat 1. Jeff Albright out front, Dawson David, Michael Stake is your only 3 still on the track. Jeff Albright, your race leader, Dawson David in second, trying to run him down. And Michael State going to be sitting there in 3rd. Albright on a rail as he's got her held up front. But he's got that 20D of Dawson David right there on his back bumper. David going to try to go in a little bit different to come out a little different. 2 laps to go for the 86 of Jeff Albright. Dawson David to the quarter panel. Unable to make a stick through 1 and 2. Is Albright going to pull away? Out of turn 4, Albright sees the white flag. Final time around. As they're going to go down into 1 and 2. Down the back stretch for the final time in Heat 1. Into 3. Here they come out of turn number 4. Checkered flag waves for the 86 of Jeff Albright. Dawson David 2nd and Michael Stake 3rd. And that's going to wrap up heat number 1 for your POWRi mods. Up next is going to be heat number 2. And on the pole, ladies and gentlemen, is the 90S of Terry Schultz into his outside the 14C of Cody Crabtree. Row number 2 going to be the 5C of Brian Cook and the 42J of Donnie Jackson. Row 3, you got the 16M of Brian Myers and the 65 of Chris Jackson. Lights are down into 3. Green flag is in the air As it looks like Cody Crabtree unable to make the call. Terry Schultz up front, Donnie Jackson, Chris Jackson battling out there for second and third. Brian Cook fourth, Brian Myers fifth. As Terry Schultz going to be out front leading the charge. Chris Jackson down the bottom side of Donnie Jackson as they're going to be duking it out. Donnie Jackson not backing down yet as they're going to go into three. Out of turn four, it is that 90S. Chris Jackson now up to second. Donnie Jackson Jr. shuffles back to third. Brian Cook fourth and Brian Myers fifth. Second heat race for your POWRi B mods out of three. We got one more. Down into three they go. Out of turn four is Terry Schultz. Here comes Chris Jackson. Jackson going to take the road less traveled on the top shelf. He's going to diamond it off through one and two. He's going to come right to the back bumper of Terry Schultz. Down into three and four they go. Jackson going to stay on the top. As it is still Terry Schultz, your race leader. Brian Cook now to the inside of Donnie Jackson. As you got a new number 3 out of 2. Brian Cook up to third. Chris Jackson still unable to run down that 90S of Terry Schultz. A lot of separation between your top two cars and the rest of the field as we're going to see the doctor's jacket 1 to go. Down the back stretch and into 3 for the final time. Coming out of turn 4, checkered flag for the 90S of Terry Schultz. Chris Jackson second and Brian Cook takes third. All right, race fans, here comes our third and final heat for your POWRi B mods. On the pole, going to be the 7 of William Garner, and to his outside, the 12S of Christopher Sawyer. Row 2 going to be the 77 of Jeremy Hazel and the 26 of Evan Groves. And row 3 going to be the 12 of Parker Smith. right, race fans, here we go. Lights are down. Third and final heat race for your POWRi B mods as they're going to go down the back stretch. William Garner, Christopher Sawyer on that front row. Jeremy Hazel, Evan Groves, Parker Smith rounds out the field. Green flag going to be in the air. William Garner jumps out to that early race lead. Here comes the 77 of Jeremy Hazel. As Hazel going to try to run down the 7 car. You got the 7 out front, the 77 in second. Here comes Parker Smith up to third. Parker Smith going to move into the number 3 spot. Evan Groves rounds out the field in 5th. As William, oh, look out, trouble. Jeremy Hazel kind of slowed up. Parker Smith had to check up, and so did Christopher Sawyer. Out of turn number 4, it's still William Garner in the 7. Jeremy Hazel second in the 12. Parker Smith sits there in 3rd. Oh, look out. Over in turn 2. The 26 of Evan Groves loops it around. Yellow, 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 yellow. All right, so we got Evan Groves refired up as he's going to regain the rest or rejoin the rest of the field. Out of turn 4, green flag back up in the air. As we're going to hustle on down to the 1 and 2. William Garner still out front. Parker Smith, Jeremy Hazel door to door. Here comes Christopher Sawyer in 5th. Evan Groves rounds out the field in 5th. As it is Garner out front. Stretch the field goes single file, kindergarten style. Parker Smith all over the back bumper of Jeremy Hazel there as they're going to go down through 1 and 2. Smith to the quarter panel. Two laps remaining here for our 3rd and final heat in your POWRi B mods. White flag waves one more trip around for the 7. Look at this, Parker Smith up there with Jeremy Hazel as they're going to go down on the 1 and 2 for the final time. Parker Smith up to 2nd. Down the back stretch and into 3. Coming out of turn number 4, checkered flag waves for the 7 of William Garner. Parker Smith, Jeremy Hazel, your top 3. Here we go, Heat 1, POWRi Hornets on the poles, the 20 of Justin Day. To his outside, the 32S of Alex Scarlett. Row 2, the 6 of Dustin Reeves, and the 80 of Jim Cook. And row number 3, going to be the 3M of Bobby Mooney. But it looks like Alex Scarlett is electing to go tailback, so that's going to move Jim Cook up to the front row outside. And that's going to move Bobby Mooney up to second row outside. Out of turn number 4, green flag is in the air. Jim Cook going to lead them on down into 3. Justin Day sitting there in second. Here comes Dustin Reeves. Bobby Mooney going to be there as well. Justin Day in his brother Tim's car trying to get that 20 machine lined out. As they're going to come out of turn 4, it's going to be Jim Cook out front. Alex Scarlett goes around over there in 3 and 4. Yellow is out. Yellow comes out for the 32S of Alex Scarlett. Green flag out of turn 4 as Jim Cook's going to lead them on down the front stretch. Here comes the 6 of Dustin Reeves. Reeves is no stranger to victory lane here at Midway. Oh, look at that. Justin Day going to pull up and block him a little bit. Tell him you're not getting down to the bottom side here. As they come out of turn 4, look at the battle up front. Cook, Day, and Reeves all going to be duking it out. 3 cars battling for that number 1 spot. Down the back. Oh, a little bit of contact between Day and Cook. Cook driving like he stole it, trying to hold on. Tim Day got a lot of damage on the front of that car there, that nose piece. Dustin Reeves now up to the race lead as they're going to come through 3 and 4. It is the 6 of Dustin Reeves, Jim Cook, Justin Day, Corbin Mooney, and Alex Gard. Now Mooney going to come down to the bottom side of Day as the battle that we're watching is for 3rd and 4th between Mooney and Day. Now front it's all Dustin Reeves in the 6 car. Jim Cook sits in 2nd. Out of turn 4, we're going to see the white flag. One more trip around for the 6 of Dustin Reeves. Corbin Mooney now up into that number 3 spot. as they're going to go down the backstretch for the final time. Coming out of turn number 4, checkered flag waves for the 6 of Dustin Reeves. Jim Cook and Justin Day takes home that number 3 spot. A little bit of tension there between Justin Day and Jim Cook. But take it easy, guys. Here comes heat number 2 for your POWRi Hornets. On the pole, going to be the 12M of Corbin Mooney into his outside, the 07 of Jordan Goddard. Row 2, going to be the 7 of Alan Thompson and the 66 of Max Dublin. And row number 3, going to be the 9 of Kyle Dunn. Green flag is in the air as we're going to go down to 1 and 2. Corbin Mooney going to lead them. Out of 2 and down the back stretch, the field's going to go. Corbin Mooney going to take lap 1. Jordan Goddard, Alan Thompson round out your top 3. Kyle Dunn and Max Dublin going to round out the field. Corbin Mooney in a borrowed car. Out front leading the charge. Jordan Goddard right there all over his back bumper. Jordan Goddard coming up to the outside there. Oh, Mooney's got trouble. Corbin Mooney got trouble on the 12M as he pulls to the infield. I'm being told it's the right front. Jordan Goddard to the race lead. Alan Thompson second. Kyle Dunn third. Dash cars staged. Will my dash cars get to staging? Midwest Modified dash to staging, please. Jordan Goddard, your race leader, as they're going to go down the back stretch. Out of turn 4, you got 2 to go for the 07 of Jordan Goddard as the 7 of Alan Thompson sits in second and the 9 of Kyle Dunn sits in third. Will my dash drivers please report to staging? White flag waves, 1 to go for the 07 of Jordan Goddard. Down the back stretch and into 3 for the final time. Coming out of turn 4, checkered flag waves for the 07 of Jordan Goddard. Alan Thompson second and Kyle Dunn third. Pole dash drivers to staging. 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 All right, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, I got 6 Midwest Modified cars on the track and 6 Midwest Modified drivers on the track and a whole bunch of kids in white T-shirts. So these kids in the white T-shirts, they signed up for the Outlaw Kids Racing Tour trailer over there. They got to go on a VIP tour to the pits. Now what we're doing with these kids picked a driver out of these 6 pole dash drivers. They're going to go stand with the driver that they picked. These drivers are going to draw a Frisbee. They're going to pick a Frisbee. We got 6 of them. That Frisbee is going to determine their starting position for the pole dash. 6 laps, and the pole dash is going to determine the top 6 starting spots for the Midwest Modified feature. So, without further ado, our first driver who's going to get to pick first is going to be the 5D of Dustin Dennison. So, Dustin, what number are you wanting to get?
Whichever one has the pole on it.
So, number 1.
Yeah, of course.
I thought he might be risky and say, I'm on number 6. All right, so we're going to let Dustin Dennison and his kid, well, not his kid, but the kid that picked him to win. They're going to pick a Frisbee together. All right, we got a blue one here. Let's see what number it is. What number we got? Number what? Number 5. So Dustin Dennison starting 5th on the dash. All right, our second drawer going to be the 79A of Trent Wynn. Okay, so 5's been picked, so you can't get it. What number you want?
Oh, you always want P1.
And these drivers, man, I'd be like, I want dead last because that's where I'm going to finish. So, all right, Trent, take your pick. Boys, go help them. Oh, they're picking this red, the only red one. Oh, no wonder. Red car, red Frisbee, go figure. Number 1. See, there's a pattern. Red car, red Frisbee, he got his pick. Steve Muhlenberg going to be our third drawer. Wait, that's weird. You get the third draw with the 33 car. You got a thing for threes, don't you? It helps. That's what he says. So you guys, there's 4 Frisbees left. Go pick one. Oh, she already knows what one she wants. Number 2. So our front row is decided. Trent went on the pole. Steve Muhlenberg going to be on the outside. Pete Richardson going to be pick number 4. And we got 3 Frisbees left. They're deciding. They got a game plan. See, they were going to pick the red one, but it got taken. They're going to pick the blue one right here. Number 4. So we got our 5th drawer, and that's going to be the 122 of Michael Maggard. And they're going to go pick this bright green one over here to the right. Number 3. And then the 83 of Ben Newell going to be our last pick. So, sweetheart, if you want to run all the way down there and grab that last green Frisbee, I wonder what number it's going to be.
Well, there are the 2 number 1s.
Yeah, we might have 2 number 1s in there. Then we're going to have a foot race to see who's the real number 1.
That's right. That's right. Well, it won't be me one, I guarantee you.
And Ben Newell got the number 6 spot. So that is the last Frisbee for our drivers and our participants. We're going to get pictures with these kids and their drivers, and then we're going to line them up, and we're going to go 6 laps. All right, race fans, we're going to get these kids back up into the grandstands. And you know what? I think I'm going to announce the pole dash from the flag stand. That sounds like a pretty good idea to me because I don't want to go all the way back up there, then all the way back down for intermission. So these drivers are going to pile into their cars. They're going to get suited and booted. And then we're going to send them 6 laps around the mighty Midway. Now, everybody, just so you're aware, This pole dash determines their starting position in our feature a little bit later tonight. We're not running for $1,500 anymore. Eagle Machine put up $510. Your Midwest Mod B class is running for $2,025. Your top 6 are right here on the track. This is going to be a little mini preview of the feature. The feature is going to be 30 laps. This is only 6, so don't get too excited. All right, race fans. Trent Wynn, Steve Muhlenberg, front row. Michael Maggard, Pete Richardson, row number 2. Dustin Dennison and Ben Newell, row number 3. All right, we're going to lay a little bit of moisture down on the speedway. As you can see, track owner Clint Gann out here with the water truck. Beautiful little rooster tail. That almost reaches the flag stand. All right, it looks like we got the moisture rolled in. Waiting to get the thumbs up from the drivers to see if it's how they like it. I see thumbs up. All right, we're going to stack them up, ladies and gentlemen. Not this time. Not this time. Next time. Next time. One to go from the starter stand. Lights are down. We're going to be green flag racing when they come out of turn number 4. 6 laps. 6 cars. Who's going to start on the pole tonight? Winner of the pole dash going to get an extra $200. Down into 3. Out of 4. Green flag. It's Pete Richardson out front right now. Steve Muhlenberg second. Here comes the 122 of Michael Maggard. He's coming up down to the bottom side as it is Pete Richardson. Pete Richardson, Steve Muhlenberg, Michael Maggard, top 3. Dustin Dennis and Ben Newell. And Trent Wynn shuffles back into the number 6 spot as they come at a turn number 4. Michael Maggard going to cross over Muhlenberg. Down the back stretch, they're going to go into 3. Out of turn number 4, Pete Richardson. Down into 3, they're going to go. Out of turn number 4, white flag waves, 1 to go. Final time down the back stretch. Who's going to take home second and third as Pete Richardson has solidified that number 1 spot. Checkered flag for the 64 of Pete Richardson. Pete Richardson takes home the pole dash win. Steve Muhlenberg second and Michael Maggard your top 3. All right. Got a little extra added stuff that they're going to do down there in front of Victory Lane. Pete Richardson in the 64, your pole dash winner. Going to take home an extra $200. Steve Muhlenberg coming in second for the pole dash. And where are you going? But there's cars on the track. We got to have a flagman. It's like swimming without a lifeguard. It's not safe. I don't know how to flag. All I know is yellow means you're not good. Blue and yellow mean you're slow. Black means get off my track. Oh, that's all I need. Shoot, I could be a flagman. Here, you announce. I'm kidding. You don't want me up here flagging. I'll black flag everybody. Like, all drivers got to do is give me a thumbs down. That's it. You're gone. Get out of here. I'll black flag the water truck if he didn't pay me. So it's intermission at this point. Like I said, they're going to take some photos down here with your pole dash first and second place. Track owner Clint Gann's going to lay some moisture down and get this track ready for feature events. First feature up. Well, okay, I wouldn't say first feature. We got 2 B features to run before our features. Hold on. Okay. We got 2 B features in the Midwest Mod class. We're going to run those 2 B features right after intermission. And then we go into our features. So, ooh, that's pretty. Sorry, that was a squirrel moment. So at this point, if you got to go tinkle, now's the time to do it. If you're hungry or thirsty, check out the concession stand, get some food, something cold to drink. Shouldn't you be getting your race car ready? I don't think you heard me. So check out the concession stand, go to the bathroom,